I never had the chance to run, leave behind the said and done, figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. Now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. Trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift
speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
feet. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, we go party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for our round 2 of the Clio Cup Series. 6 rounds here, and what a race we've got on offer for you tonight. At the minute, no Fury, no RJ Dale. Hopefully they get here in time to race tonight. Invites have been sent out. We did lose Deeks and Daniel Francis. They've pulled out of the season. Unknown reasons as to why, but they have pulled out in this one. Then we have got, though, 11 drivers on the grid for you tonight, and this should be some interesting racing around this track, Jamie.
Yeah, this should be very interesting. This is going to be a very slipstream dependent track.
Kind of like a Thruxton-esque circuit, isn't it, if we was to compare it to a British touring car track? Thruxton-esque, but obviously the old 1960s, 1970s Silverstone layout.
Yeah, so yeah, looking at it, it does look a lot like Thruxton.
What are we expecting for around here tonight, Jamie? Dan obviously took a dominant race victory last week. What can we expect to see around here?
I'd expect to see Dan coming through the back, challenging for another win, but say he's got a counter in Keegs, who's actually back on his normal account tonight, Ben Phelan, Foulguest and Grandad Stee.
Yeah, he has indeed. They are all going to be starting in front of Dan. Obviously, similar to what it used to be in the GT5s around here, it's going to be a reverse grid start. The two, though, 3 if RJ Dale turns up, that will not start by the front is Monkey Boy and Little Eats. They all start P11, 12, and if RJ Dale P13 turns up, that's because they wasn't here last week. For everybody else, it will be the Mux Nuts who's going to start on pole. It will then be Don't Know Mate who will start second, followed by Peaceful Explosion P3 with DJ Phil Green in fourth. Fury will start fifth, but at the minute Fury not here either. Ben Phelan then will start sixth. Lil Keegs will start seventh. Foulguest eighth. Grandad Stee ninth. Unorthodox 10th. Little Each 11th. And Monkey Boy will start in P12. And Jamie, obviously to bump everybody up one if Fury doesn't get here. But you've got to fancy Dan's chances starting P10, maybe P9.
Yeah, say Dan does look like the favourite to win this, but so hopefully it can be that Dan doesn't run away with the championship and that we can have a few different winners.
Dan leads the way then, 26 points from Grandad Stee, who's second place, who got Foulguest at the line last week, if you remember, at Donington Park. Foulguest then third. The Keegs, Ben Phelan and Fury, and what a battle we saw between Foulguest and Grandad Stee, and then what a battle we saw between Keegs, Ben Phelan and Fury. Ben finished behind Fury but got given the place back as Fury pushed to pass at the old hairpin. Daniel Francis was P7, he's pulled out, so he is now irrelevant in this championship, if you will. DJ Phil then is 8th, Peaceful 9th, Don't Know Mate 10th, PN Motorsport 11th. He sadly cannot be here tonight. He's not available for this one. The Mutts Nuts 12th, Little Eats 13th, RJ Dale 14th, and Monkey Boy in 15th place. 130 points still up for grabs in this one, so all still to play for you at the minute.
Yeah, it's all still to play for. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and anything tends to happen in these Clios, Jamie. Talk us a bit about the track, if you will, with these cars. Obviously raced them on a previous league. What are we looking at, positives and negatives tonight?
I'll say there's a lot of straights around here, so it's very good for slipstream. But with the corners, they're quite tricky. You get them wrong just that little bit, and you run wide. And with the long straights, you compromise yourself onto the straight and make yourself susceptible to an overtake due to slipstream. But this track is a lot like Thruxton, and Thruxton anyway is quite a slipstream dependent track as well.
It is. So what we're going to see here is 10 minutes worth of practice, which we're already halfway through, and then we're going to go into the reverse grid race. 31 racing laps. It is a 32 lap race, but the first lap of the race will do the grid order as they line up, and that will be the interesting one to see who can do what here.
Well, seeing as this track is a bit like Thruxton, have you got any favourite memories about Thruxton, Matt?
I've got a few favourite Thruxton memories, a few Honda memories, obviously being a Honda fan. Honda seemed to go well around there. A few nasty crashes. I remember, was it Simon Belcher in the car she'd liveried? Yeah. I can't remember what car it was, went sort of over the wall at church. Had a few nasty crashes at church. I think Ash Sutton had one season, didn't he? In the MG, I remember it was, or Josh Cook, someone.
I can't remember that one. I can't remember that one exactly, but that'll have been 2016.
Yeah, around that time. A lot of punches as well at Thruxton, which is always entertaining to see. You know, obviously they get rid of that option tyre in the touring cars, and they have they just run the hard tyres, so they always get rid of the option tyre. So, but what was I saying? Punches always a key factor in the touring cars around Thruxton, Jamie. And I remember a few years ago that the Honda of Matt Neal actually got a puncher, and then couldn't turn through the chicane and couldn't get himself into the pit lane, and caused a bit of havoc, catching out Shedden in that one as well.
Yeah, so I was watching a 2013 video about, there's a bit of contact there between Monkey Boy and I think that might be DJ Phil.
Yeah, I think that is DJ Phil there, who's just gone off. And yeah,
so I was watching a video about touring cars. I think Peaceful just rolled it then.
Oh, has he? No, that's Monkey Boy who's just rolled it.
Yeah, Andrew Jordan got a puncher on the last lap of the first race whilst leading it, giving Matt Neal the win.
Yeah, a lot of memories around Thruxton. We say good evening to Disco McDisco Face, race winner, second time here at Simplay Motorsport. Dean Wasocki in the chat, Martin Wheeler as well. Good luck all, he says. Team Prolapse, I'm here for the tunes, DJ Kelly Davis. And oi Matt Jamie in the comms booth tonight. Yeah, Team Prolapse, that'll be Nicky in there. Nice to have you with us. Where's the rest of Team Prolapse boys supporting Dan on his charge through this field then, eh?
We've now got Fury.
Fury has joined us, yes, that's good to see.
One thing as well is, I wonder whether anyone will try and do a Swedish shuffle on anyone.
The old Volvo of Rickard Rydell, I assume you're referring to?
Yeah, so again, when I was watching 2013, Plato, your favourite driver, tried a Swedish shuffle on Shedden, and ended up with Shedden in the wall. Yeah.
Well, what can we say? We've just had Thruxton as well, not long ago, have we? It was brilliant to see Thruxton twice this year. We get to Croft soon as well. And unfortunately, Jamie, the Clios aren't a part of the touring cars, the Toka weekend anymore, which is a shame to see. We've got brilliant racing in the minis, but the Clios are not there anymore, which is a real shame.
Yeah, so the Clios have just disappeared off the face of the earth. So they were meant to go onto the British GT package for last season, but they delayed that due to COVID, and there's just been nothing more said about that.
Yeah, it is a shame to see. We've got 10 people watching 11 lights. Guys, get your comments in the chat as well. Let's hear from you. Hear who you're cheering on for tonight, even if you've got a question from you, Jamie, anything touring car related as well. We'd love to answer your questions. We'd love to hear from you as well. So, 2 people dropped out last week. Why did they drop out? Who knows? It's a shame, really. It's shortened the championship by 2 drivers. We have got PN Motorsport and RJ Dale missing, but what this will do then is give these guys now a chance here tonight, and it will give people like DJ Phil and Don't Know Mate the chance now to get a few more points, maybe even another top 10. And this man, who had pace last week, was matching Unorthodox's pace, is going to be very interesting to see what he can do on his way around this track.
Yeah, so excuse me. Yeah, Ben did have very good pace. He just kept dropping it at a few key areas. That meant he just wasn't able to keep with Unorthodox. So hopefully he's got the consistency tonight.
Yeah, hopefully he's got the consistency tonight. We'll see what he can do in his blue and green and white Clio, the number 52 car of Ben Phelan, currently P3, 1.2 off the back of Unorthodox, who's 7/10th clear of Falgas. So Dan's time is very impressive. Before we came on air, Keegs was actually in the 39s. Let's just jump off Ben a little bit. Let's let his connection gather. That's Keegs actually round as the Muchnuts improves by a couple of tenths to go P3. He retired last week, so he is going to start on pole. Is the Muchnuts. As we say good evening to Tony. Evening, Jamie. Good luck. Go Fury, he says. Be nice to see Tony and the Fury massive in here as well. Is that somebody wide at exit to turn 1? That is Dan. As Don't Know Mate is in the pits then, a 42.9. Yeah, Keegs was in the 39s with Dan in the off air before we came on air. Just a bit of testing he was doing. So Keegs on that pace, just not showing it now. But Jamie, it's practice, so sandbagging could be coming into effect here. You've got to make your way through that order. You've got to make your way through that grid. It's not as easy as we saw in the GT5s. It's not as easy to get through the grid as some may think, because incidents could occur, or it could just take a little longer to get past a bit. Silverstone Classic, or Thruxton as we'll call it, very wide track. If anything, there's not really a tight place to overtake.
No, so it's not really a tight place to overtake, but you could, if you park your car in the right areas, and you can just make it a bit of a nightmare for the person trying to overtake you. Say, a very key overtaking opportunity is into the chicane. But if you defend very well, then you can make it very tricky for the overtaking car.
And there's one man I've seen overtake me in a previous league in the Formula Rookies into that chicane, round the outside as well. And Gary 131, what a shame he's not in these Clios. He'd be one to watch in these. Overtook me around the outside at that chicane, and what a move it was. So we're coming to the end of this session. Everybody on their final runs now. Don't Know Mate and Keegs are in the pits as DJ Phil and Monkey Boy have finished their laps. A few coming to line. Fury looks like he's also finished his. There's Falgas T's done, Grandad Steve's done, and there is Ben. Peaceful, I do believe. No, Little Each, then it must have been. And Unorthodox finishing his time. Peaceful Explosion currently 9th. Will he improve on his time as he crosses the line? No, he won't. And I believe that is everybody done. No, just waiting for Little Each here. And now he finishes his time. So he is done then. And that is the 12 then. Unorthodox set in the place in practice, but we've got a 31 lap race. The first lap of this race will be, like I say, reverse grid order. So it'll be for the lads to get into the grid order. Fury, typical. The game wouldn't give me a chance to pick my livery, then kicks me into the game without clicking join. As we say, evening again to Dean Wasaki, who says hi once more. So evening to Dean and Fury then. Fury, where is Fury? What livery is Fury running in? He's currently line up last. So he's in the blue and white. So not the livery he normally runs. But, well, you know, it is what it is. 13 people watching, 12 likes. Evening to those in the chat. Get your comments in the chat. Get your questions in. Get everything in that you want to know, and get a prediction in for who you think is going to win this race. So this first lap, for a reminder of these folks, will be a formation lap to line up on the grid here.
Yeah, it's quite sad that it's not a roll or grid start, because this grid's quite weird.
It's kind of motorbike-esque, isn't it? Where it's like a staggered sort of rows here. Because look, you look at first and second on the front row, then third and fourth are sort of like they have a clear run down the right-hand side of their car. So it's an interesting one to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the Ginetta Juniors actually used to do this, where the front two would be there, and then the row behind it would just be slightly to the left.
As we say, evening to Gary 131, mentioning he's overtaking them Formula Rookies. He's here watching as well. Come on, Little Each, and tell you what, Little Each could have a worse night than he did in that debut Renault. Little Each, is he sponsored by Renault this year? Is this why the Leachy losers have changed to the Renault car? Maybe doing the Clios and this. They've sort of, just sort of branded as a Renault team now.
Yeah, I was going to say, seeing as Renault's now gone from F1, Craig and Gary have taken over that team.
Welshie in the chat as well saying, go on Keegs. Yeah, well, Gary and Craig, they'll be known as Alpine next year, you'll be telling me. As we're ready then to get underway, synchronising then for the formation lap here around this circuit. The lights are on. Nobody really needs to jump this start. DJ Phil thumbs up, says Team Prolapse, and looks fun, says Dean. And we've lost. Oh no, we've lost Peaceful then in this race, so he will not take part in this race, and that frees up a few spots. Now then, grid order everybody needs to get, but Peaceful Explosion will not start in this one. And what a shame, Jamie, because he was a man I was looking forward to seeing this one.
Yeah, so it's a massive shame to see Peaceful not even get off the line.
Yeah, what a shame indeed. No one will get a move now like that in the rookie, says Gary in the chat. Looks fun. I said Dean said looks fun. As here we go then. So grid order should be looking like this. Now, Peaceful being disqualified. Now, is there a way we could get Peaceful back in the session? What do we reckon, Jamie?
I don't know how you'd be able to do that.
Knock a couple of laps off the race and get Peaceful in the session, or?
Yeah, we can do.
Right, we'll be right back in 2 moments while we just get people.
I never had the chance to run. Leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reason things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. Been trying hard not to go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you.
So
23
basically-
laps?
So 23 laps, yeah. Right,
Put it in the Discord.
welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies about that. What we have managed to do is we managed to get an extra driver on the grid during that one. Peaceful has had to reset, and we go again here. So Sooty Apex, you can see, is in, but he will start dead last. So grid order once again will be The Mutts Nuts, Don't Know Mate, Peaceful Explosion, DJ Phil Green, Fury, Ben Phelan, Lil Keegs, Falguest, Grandad Stee, Unorthodox, Little Each Monkey Boy, and Sooty Apex will start at the back. Pit window 4 to 23. Here we go again. This one should be interesting, Jamie. Your pick for the race win here?
I'm going to go Keegs here.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Falguest, actually.
Very interesting. Hopefully the commentator's curse dance doesn't strike either of them.
Hopefully not. We saw what the commentators cursed it to D-Biggs the other day, and apologies to D-Biggs if he's watching. We know what happened there. As we are getting ready to go then in this one, and the driver's just syncing up now, and we should be underway any moment now then. Race shortened to 27 laps. So Jamie, shorter race here. This could be interesting.
Yeah, this will make it. Bit slightly more exciting because there's less laps, so people are going to be wanting to make their moves a bit more urgently.
Yep, so we are about to get going here then, so it will be rolling start. Looks better that I'm in the right livery, says Fury. So we're underway then, so people will be lining up for the rolling start. Me and Jamie will go through it as we go ahead here then. And the grid order is going to be one. Going to be interesting. So Mutts Nuts is on pole, followed by Don't Know Mate. Now the Mutts Nuts has got to lead them away here. They don't go until the Mutts Nuts feels necessary. Peaceful Explosion third. Yep, that's right. DJ Phil then in fourth. Yep. Fury then in P5. Yep. Then we've got Ben Phelan, Keegs. Yep. And then it goes to Falguest, Grandad Stee. Yep, Falguest, Grandad Stee, Unorthodox, Little Each, Monkey Boy, and Sooty Apex will start dead last at the minute for this one then. So then, Jamie, 26 racing laps effectively. Pit window will now be lap 4 to 23. The drivers will have to pit in that time to make sure they've at least done a mandatory pit stop and get in and out. They don't have to refuel, they don't have to change tyres, they just have to come into the pits and do a splash and dash, if you will. So then, Thruxton halfway round a lap. While we have this moment of rest. We are live Wednesday and Thursday for the Pro-Am and the Pro back at Dubai Autodrome, but in the daytime here, no night race around Dubai. We're back Friday for the start of the IndyCar. Only can apologise enough for not being well on Friday. The body just wouldn't let me do it, and Jamie obviously was unwell as well. So it's a bit of a chance for us to both get a weekend under our belt and sort of have some rest, Jamie.
Yeah, so both feeling better now, and raring for this race to go.
Hopefully see you back out on the grid on Thursday night. Your teammates seem to have a mixed fortune at Brands Hatch. I know it's a track that you selected, so it's a shame you missed it, but thoughts on Dubai going into Thursday?
I think after missing race 1, I'll be happy with whatever.
You had good pace at Brands, if I remember, last season, so that's got to give you a bit of good fortune going forward into this week.
Yeah, the Mutts Nuts is now coming into the final corner, and he's gone.
He has gone very early, and they've started. Don't Know Mate then is down into he's obviously second place. Mutts Nuts got the jump over Don't Know Mate, and then it's a Peaceful Explosion being chased by DJ Phil and by Fury as well at the same time. DJ Phil getting that backhand, stepped out all over the place. Oh, Peaceful has a bit of a twitch then as they come across to turn 1. DJ Phil has to take evasive action. Nobody then making any real jumps at the minute, but Phil looking at Peaceful here down into what is nowadays Maggots and Beckett's. So this one could be interesting. The Mutts Nuts all sideways through there. Fury has got past Phil and Peaceful Explosion, and here comes Ben as well to muscle his way past. Ben, not the greatest run through there, and here comes the rest of the pack. Keegs and Sooty and Keegs and Falguest and Grandad C. Dan being very patient. Little Each there in the background with Monkey Boy. Sooty well off the pace at the minute as well. And here comes this front pack, and the Mutts Nuts checked out. Bryn as well. Sorry, Don't Know Mate. That Bryn's his real name. Has just kind of got away a little bit here. And the last time I saw Clio's this wide at Silverstone Classic was an interesting one back in a previous league. And there you see Fury now just started to get on the back of Don't Know Mate. Who's that wide? That is Little Each, very wide. Sooty as well trying to get onto Monkey Boy. But look at this battle here. Fury looking to get second place here, And this one very interesting already at the start. This one, Fury looking to get second place. Look at the gaggle of cars in behind, and I think Fury's going to get this one done. Don't know, mate, just looking to keep it there. Keegs has moved up into fourth place, and Don't Know, mate, coming back at Fury, who has a bit of a wiggle mid-corner there. And we said last week about Don't Know, mate, being a bit too respectful, we thought at times, Jamie. He's certainly getting stuck in here. And is he going to come back underneath Fury? Oh, he tries and thinks about it. Bit of a nudge in the rear, and they both make it through. Oh, just about does Fury there. Good driving. Oh, that's Don't Know, mate. Very wide coming through the final part of the chicane and loses out to Keegs and to Falgast as well. So they're both through. Falgast very twitchy down the straight there. Just not the run from Don't Know, mate. But he's bit more scrappy there, Jamie, compared to last week when we said he was a bit too cautious.
Yeah, so he's getting himself properly stuck in now. Monkey Boy and Saturday, though, have dropped quite a way back off.
Yeah,
Little H, so don't quite know what's going on there.
No, not sure what's happening there. They're having their own race. Look at Grandad Stay having a look at Ben, who's up the inside of Don't Know, mate, and they just lean on each other. Ben there was absolutely sideways through the corner and kind of had to use Don't Know, mate, as like a block. Oh, and that's Dan, who's had a touch with Ben Phelan and Grandad Stay, and off they go. Well off is Grandad Stay and Ben Phelan. Hopefully no damages, no barriers around to get caught up there. They're coming back onto the track now. Disco, Dan just going to pick this lot off, although I wouldn't be too sure. He's already just had a bit of a tap with Ben there, and it was just a lot of traffic that couldn't make their way through, Jamie.
Yeah, it looked like 3 and 2 wouldn't go. That's DJ Phil and
Little Leach.
Yeah, Little Leach.
Keegs is up into second, then he's past Fury, and Falgast is looking up the inside of Fury as well. Look at him push just Fury a little bit wide. They try and rub doors here, cannot get it done. Don't Know, mate, down to 5th place now. He's managed to get a few places back from Ben Phelan and Grandad Steve, who's dropped to last and 12th in this one at the moment. And so far so good if you are Don't Know, mate, but you've got Unorthodox, the championship leader, right on the back of your tail. And here comes Keegs, who's now going to hunt down the Muchnuts. And the earlier Keegs can get away from Unorthodox in this one, Jamie, the better for Keegs in this race.
Yeah, so he'll need Don't Know, mate, Fury and Falgast to really hold Unorthodox up here, so he can make a break for it and then make a big gap of it.
Oh, he's really clattered the curb there coming through turn 1, and that's going to lose him some heck of time there as he's gone down already. He's been lost by Falgast. He's going to get past, I think, by Fury, setting him up, like Jamie's just said, side by side, setting him up into what is Maggots and Beckett's. Is Dan going to follow through as well? I think Unorthodox, here he comes, and is Don't Know, mate, going to have a look, who keeps it very tight to the corner, just taking a few of the bollards out, and no, can't get it done. But Dan still side by side with Keegs, and Keegs crucially has that bit of a slipstream from Fury in front, who's now pulled across to get back into Falgast's slipstream. Dan and Keegs still side by side, and I think Keegs just tucks in front.
Yeah, Keegs got better traction off the corner by just running it wide as here comes Don't Know, mate.
Yeah, Don't Know, mate, up the inside of Keegs. Falgast very wide then through that next corner. Didn't get the run, did Don't Know, mate, on Keegs there, but he's still trying. He's still keeping with his top lot, and that's great to see, Jamie, on what is his 4th outing here at Simplay. Made his debut in the Clios last week. Keegs then has lost out massively. Danny's now up to 3rd, and the Muchnuts still 1.7 in front here, just running his own little race.
Yeah, so I was going to say the Muchnuts is making hay while the sun shines, whilst everyone else is just frantically battling as Unorthodox goes for Falgast, gets the move done. Ooh, perhaps Fury and Don't Know, mate. And
yeah, Fury and Don't Know, mate. Oh, and they've caught the tyre wall there, and Don't Know, mate, not going to be happy with that one. He's dropped down behind Little Each. Can he get it back going though? He's got good pace already to get back into this race. Can he keep that momentum going? Fury then, you see the damage to the front of his car. Pit window is now open, Jamie, and he's going to have some work to do to get that one repaired, as here goes Unorthodox side by side with Falgast, and these guys going to be battling for the title, I reckon, this year with Grandad Steve. Grandad Steve not in this one as Monkey Boy's dropped down to 12th, and Dan going up the inside of Falgast, and well, he's kind of just sort of made that one look a bit easy there. Can Falgast get back in that slipstream? And Jamie, you said in practice the slipstream's the key here. Yes, Dan's in front, but the Muchnuts is just far enough in front that he's not going to have that toe from him, so he's going to be under pressure from Falgast here.
Yeah, Falgast is now going to look to the inside of to what is Stowe, but Unorthodox will just get the drive off the corner.
I think I think Dan realises that one as well, doesn't he? And what's the point in putting up a fight? We may as well work together to get the car in front, and tucks back in behind Falguest.
Well off. That's DJ Phil.
That's DJ Phil and rejoins. Oh, right in front. I don't know, mate. Who's going to pull out and have a look now? Sooty Apex up to P8 ahead of Grandad Steve. Yeah, I think he has. He's had a right horrible mistake there. He can pit at the end of this lap, so we assume he'll come in.
I wonder whether he's been over on his roof.
Possibly. That. I mean, the roof looks well intact here.
Yeah, so he must have had a big whack up the rear.
We'll have to keep our eyes on what happened there.
Oh, I don't know, mate's gone off.
Has he? Oh, he has as well, and that car looks like it's crabbing a little bit. Little Each as well, struggling here. So will these guys get into the pits this lap? Oh, that's Sooty Apex, who's had a spin, and Fury's coming to the pits. Little Each is coming into the pits, but that's Sooty trying to turn around as Little Each is coming into the pits at the end of lap 5. Fury and Little Each then into the pits. They come to get their car repaired. I imagine we'll see Peaceful in as well. Grandad Steve's in, making an early pit stop.
Peaceful's not in.
No, Peaceful has decided to stay out. So it was... yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, so I think he had a bit of contact. I think it was Monkey Boy he had a bit of contact with.
Yeah, it might have been Monkey Boy then, as here comes Don't Know Mate looking towards DJ Phil, and this one could be done nice and easy up the inside, but Phil's going to hang it round at Maggots and Beckett's, and it manages to keep the place. So Don't Know Mate still struggling here, and yeah, still not being able to get past. Back to the front though. These two have really caught onto the back of Falguest. Keegs now kind of in no man's land here, as he's well back behind these two, but well far in front of Ben Phelan. And now, you were saying, Matt? Yeah, exactly. I was saying, wasn't I? Hey? Dan going to pick these off. He has quite easily, to be fair. I thought this was going to be more of a battle, but he's up to second, and Falguest sticking with him, and they've really got a run on Muchnuts here. He's not got the run he needed through this corner.
Yeah, so that'll just be all down to the slipstream.
Little Each here is having one heck of a pit stop. He's still not moving, and he's still not away from the rest of these cars yet. Grandad Steve and Fury is at Maggots and Beckett's now. Little Each is just coming away, as here goes Unorthodox for the race lead up the inside of the Muchnuts. And is that one job done into turn 1? I think it is, as Jamie then, as Little Each comes out the pits, and Muchnuts just bounces off the curbs, but I think he's got a run back. A nice little switch back there on Unorthodox, and that one is coming down to be attacked at Maggots and Beckett's. And Jamie, great manoeuvre, and Falguest going with him.
Yeah, so Unorthodox made it look a bit easy there, but Falguest and the Muchnuts just thought, no, I'm not having that, and got back up the inside.
Yeah, Dan goes wide on the exit to Beckett's as well, so he's just lost a bit of momentum coming down to what is the hangar straight. And as they head towards Stowe, they are just now trying to keep with each other. Little Each, a lap down, is trying to stick with these two in the background as well. These three in the background, should I say. And Dan's got nowhere to go as Falguest and the Muchnuts side by side, but will he follow the Muchnuts through? He should do, as Falguest very, very wide there, and he's losing all momentum and traction onto the grass. He goes. Dan's going to be up the inside of Falguest here. Will he have a look at the Muchnuts as well? I don't think he does. No, Muchnuts tucks it back in, and Falguest can't get behind Unorthodox then, because Little Each is there, and he couldn't just tuck back in as Little Each is trying to follow these through and keep with the lead pack. Now then, Little Each backs off and lets Falguest tuck back in behind Dan, and they're still 3 for the lead, Jamie. This is cracking driving in these Clios.
Yeah, it's a cracking drive, and they say they haven't made any contact so far. I think 3 wide into the chicane. Enough does better on the brakes.
Better on the brakes, takes the lead, and Little Each still attacking Falguest here, and he has got the job done. Phil then into the pits for him, so he is now going to be on a battle with Little Each, because he's just came out the pit lane actually. As these leaders are coming around, he's going to be have to move out the way, and Little Each could just sneak through past Phil here as he comes through to put a lap on, as these guys put a lap on DJ Phil. Falguest, the Muchnuts and Unorthodox still battling for the lead, and it's Dan who leads once again. And Keegs then comes into the pits at lap 8, at the end of lap 7. Is this an undercut for Keegs? I tell you what, Jamie, Dan's coming for your wins record at the minute. You lead the way, but Dan's closing in.
Yeah, Dan is closing in quite rapidly on on me.
Yeah, Falgast has lost some momentum somewhere because he has lost out massively. The Mutsnuts still trying to come back on unorthodox here. And great evening to Peaceful Stepdad, who says good evening everyone. And Disco, great racing from the lead pack here. Fantastic racing from these leaders. We're seeing such a great battle. The Mutsnuts trying to hang it around the outside of Waddy Stowe. And is he going to look for that cutback? Can't get it done. Now Falgast is really going to struggle here without that slipstream of the front two.
Yeah, you'll just slowly see him drop further and further back unless these two start battling properly.
Unless these two start battling properly. Dan there got all sideways through. I couldn't tell you what corner that one would be, but through there is Dan then losing that bit of momentum, but has gained over the Mutsnuts. So Dan just having more confidence to chuck that Clio into the corners and pull away from the Mutsnuts here.
Yeah, you can just see on the brakes how much more confident Unorthodox is than the Mutsnuts. The Mutsnuts is doing very well to keep up with, just staying within the slipstream of him.
He is as well. Hopefully he can stay in it because we don't want to be robbed of that battle. Elsewhere on the track, no one really within that 1 second marker of each other, but pit stops have started to happen. Sutty's up to 6th. Don't know mate still 7th. Peaceful. Let's give a shout out to him a second. Still doing a cracking job with what is, no boot, no bonnet, easy to get the shopping in, but he'll be losing some performance in that car, but he's doing a good job to still be P9. He's ahead of everybody, though, that has been into the pits, and I think Peaceful is going to come into the pits himself now. In fact, yes, he does. So lap 9, at the end of lap 8, Peaceful comes into the pits. And this is going to be an interesting stop here. How long will it take as through goes Keegs already? Now, Little Leach is the last car on the track. Keep your eyes on him. He is the dark blue dot on the track map behind these three leaders here. So keep your eyes on him for where he's going to be. Dan very wide through Stowe, and the Mutsnuts, you couldn't make that up, could you? Chance to capitalise, and he's followed the leader through.
Yeah, he has, but he's closed back in on Orthodox. That was about 7 tenths, and it's now down to about. That was down to 5 tenths.
It is, yeah, you're right there. Who's that they've just lapped? They've put a lap on somebody, not quite sure who that one is.
I think that's still Little Leach behind them. They've got DJ Phil in front.
Yeah, Little Leach is behind. Little Leach is way behind. Not sure who that one is. Is that Peaceful? No, it's not Peaceful, is it? He's still in the pits. There's Little Leach, so there is a back mark then just behind these guys. And I'm not sure who that one is because DJ Phil is there.
That is Little Leach, but just behind them.
Oh, I thought it was a white. I thought it was a different colour car, similar to Peaceful. Yeah. Oh no,
that's
that's the Mutsnut. Sorry, it is Falgast in the background as DJ Phil then moves out the way.
Yeah, the gap's just gone back out again, and Falgast has just closed slightly back on them. He was the quickest at them that time by a tenth or so.
Yeah. And it's going to take a while, though, isn't it, for him to get on the back? But 1.7, he'll slowly start to feel that effect of the slipstream, won't he, to get himself on the back of these guys.
Yeah, so he'll probably now start to get the Mutsnut slipstream as the Mutsnuts is just slowly dropping away from an Orthdub, so he's slowly losing his slipstream, making him more vulnerable to Falgast.
Yeah, started to fall into the hands of Falgast, and that's natural pace for Falgast. As Mutsnuts and Falgast very, very wide, and how the Mutsnuts keeps it out of the wall, I'm not sure there.
I was going to say, this track is very difficult just to keep it on, especially with how slidey these Clios are. Yeah,
very slidey. He's done well to keep it out of the wall, but the Mutsnuts now will really be in his slipstream. He's not lost Dan's slipstream though as well.
No, he's just managed. Just slowly catching Dan on the straights, but in the corners, Dan's just so much better on the brakes.
Yeah, a different machine. Falgast now really getting involved in this one as well. Peaceful only lost 3 places in that pit stop, so he came out well in front of DJ Phil and Little Leach, so he's done well there as Peaceful Explosion to get out the pits. So don't know, mate. Sooty, Monkey Boy, Ben Phelan, Falgast, the Mutsnuts and Unorthodox still got to pit. As Dan looked very wide. Falgast a little wide as well, but Unorthodox just drifting a little wide there. He is still ahead, but he's gapped Mutsnuts over the last part of that lap, but he's really starting to just push the limits a little bit and run onto the grass, and one mistake, could easily lose the rear of that car. Dan's got to be careful.
Yeah, what I have been noticing though is when they run wide, they seem just to gain a little bit more on the person in front.
Yeah.
So they have to. I was going to say they have to watch that, because that could be track limits.
Yeah, track limits could be looked at then for that one. Then as the Mutt-Nuts, Dan again just drifting wide. The Mutt-Nuts not as wide this time round. Falgas managing to keep it on the track, and at the minute everything all smooth and good if you're these three. And they really now Falgas has kind of gave the Mutt-Nuts a hurry up here, hasn't he, to get on the back of Dan here.
Yeah, so Mutt-Nuts is just trying to slowly catch an orthodubs, but Falgas is just wants to get on with it and get up to Dan before he disappears.
Yeah, before he disappears, and Dan having a bit more of a threat than what he did at Donington last week. Look at Falgas last time, nearly a second quicker than Dan on the last lap. The Mutt-Nuts trying to be a bit braver into the chicane, and he does have to take a bit more of the track limits than what he would have wanted to, but it was very deep into the first part of it, and the Falgas again, half a second there, of 3/10, should I say, quicker than an Orthodubs and the Mutt-Nuts last lap. They are being taken with each other, and they are both being... they're both being brought along into the unorthodox path, but he's just gapped them a little bit out the chicane.
Oh, excuse me, yeah. Falgas has now got the inside on the Mutt-Nuts. This is what unorthodox will want these two to battle.
Yeah, he'll want them to battle. These two want to use each other to get to Dan, and while they're side by side, they're just doing that. I notice that Dan seems weaker in this middle part of the track, Jamie. When you look at the gaps being brought down, Dan seems weaker round this part of the track, and then pulls that bit of a gap further out. Little Each in the background is on the back of DJ Phil. That's for 12th and 13th place. So Craig still not enjoying life in a Renault car, as the Mutt-Nuts sliding into Stowe. Dan wide a little bit, as all these two, just ever so slightly. It's such a tricky corner, that one, isn't it? Because you want to carry the speed through, but it's very easy to just drop a wheel wide. Yeah,
so I was going to say, in any cars around here, it's just so easy to do that.
20 people watching, 17 likes. Guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new. Get your comments in the chat as well. If you want a question, just comment and ask. As we see here, Little Each trying to pressure the back of DJ Phil. Now these two have pitted. We've still got the top 7 who need to pit, and at the minute Keegs starting to catch Don't Know Mate a bit further up, as Don't Know Mate is also catching Monkey Boy based off the last lap. And Little Each going to look up the inside into the chicane. Just later on the brakes is Little Each, and gets that Clio slid into P11. Oh, and Phil, bit of a twitch on the curb, and he's managed to keep that one pointing in the right direction there, but nervous moment if you Phil for that one.
Yeah, that might be that won't be a clean laundry mill inside that car.
Yeah, he's going to have to relook at his washing, I think, after this race. And Little Each very wide at turn 1, so he's had a moment somewhere. He's had a moment somewhere. Turn 1, he's had a moment. Ben then into the pits at the end of lap 12, so Ben coming into to do his pit stop. And we've still got others to come in. This will allow Sutty and Monkey Boy, who are together on the track, to go P4 and 5. As Ben still in the pits, and Don't Know Mate is just coming into the chicane. Although I think Don't Know Mate's coming into the pits, because he's awfully slow. So Don't Know Mate coming in as well for his pit stop.
Yeah,
it's a horrible pit entry, this one, Jamie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really odd pit entry. It's a bit like the Suzuka pit entrance.
Yes, look at poor Don't Know Mate as well, based off of last week where he got his 50-second penalty. He was crawling on pit entry. Look at the Mutt-Nuts there, sliding through. Keegsen couldn't get on the back of Ben. Not sure what the gap is between them two, but Don't Know Mate's in the pits. He's lost out to Fury. He'll lose out to Grandad Steve. Will he lose out to Peaceful? We'll find out. I think he will, but here comes Falgas now having a run at the chicane. These three, don't forget, still to pit. The top 5 are now still to pit. Keegs is with Ben, and Dan comes into the pits at the end of lap 13. Keegs is on the back of Ben, and Falgas just been gapped a little bit. Keegs then has lost out a bit of time to Ben. Yeah, it's such a horrible pit entry, isn't it? So slow.
Yeah, so you look at a lot of pit entries at the tracks that we go to, and they're quite nice pit entrances, but they're there's just a handful which just aren't very nice.
And you've got to feel for Don't Know Mate. He has had a terrible pit stop there, repaired the damage. Maybe the case is Falgas side by side with the Muchnuts for the race lead. These two now need to work together to pull a gap. Will Dan come out before Sutty and Monkey Boy come around? He's on his way, and there at the chicane, Don't Know Mate's dropped to last place, but he's not too far behind Little Leach and DJ Phil. So if he can get on with them two, maybe he can get up to pace with them and get on the back of them quickly. But Falgast and the Muchnuts have swapped places, and that is roles reversed for them too.
Yeah, but the Muchnuts is on the outside coming into what is Stowe, so he's going to try and look for the drive onto the straight.
Yeah, down to what is now, I imagine, is Vale straight into Club Corner. I'd imagine so. But I could be wrong, because the names have changed so much over the years and the track layout has changed so much over the years. As Falgas just starting to gap the Muchnuts. He's been quicker than the Muchnuts and Dan for the last couple of laps here. Dan 28 seconds behind. Does Falgas react to Dan's pit stop now that he's cleared the Muchnuts, or will the Muchnuts think, I've got to cover Dan, but I also want to undercut Falgas?
I think these two are just going to follow what each other.
Oh, tell you what, that was awfully close for the Muchnuts there. Nearly into the wall now. Falgas, clear air. The Muchnuts is now out that slipstream area, you'd say. Can just pump good laps in here. Phil still trying to get on the back of Little Leach. That's for P12 and 11. Don't Know Mate then, not too far behind them. And he'll want to try and get on the back of this battle while these two are slipstreaming each other. It's not going to be what Don't Know Mate will want, but it's more points and more experience in the bag. And who else is near each other on track? Keegs 5 seconds behind Ben. Sutty's got ahead of Monkey Boy by 2 seconds. Top 5 the only guys still to pit. Peaceful Explosion down in 10th, 7 seconds off the back of Grandad Steve. We've not seen Grandad Steve have the pace tonight, Jamie. I know we had that incident with Ben early doors, but he's not had that pace to come back through the field.
No. Say, you look at Fury in the 139. Oh, Fury's the quickest person on the track. To be fair to Grandad Steve, he's lapping about the same as
his pace isn't bad, is it?
Yeah, it's not bad, but he's just lost. I think he's just lost so much time that he just can't get it back.
I was just about to say to you, is this track, because of that time lost and the slipstream so powerful around here, that when you've lost it, it is so hard to get it back? Yeah,
so unless he can say he's done that lap time there, that's a very good lap, but he's just not near anyone to gain the slipstream, so he can be pumping those quick laps in. But as soon as say for example Fury gets on the back of Keegs, then Fury will just disappear up the road from him.
Yeah, Grandad Steve is 7 seconds behind us. Falgast and the Muchnuts then into the pits at the end of lap 15. So that'll release DJ Phil and Little Leach. And we are just waiting for Sutty and Monkey Boy to pit now. So will Sutty and Monkey Boy... They won't take the lead now because they're behind Dan. But Dan coming into the chicane. How good is the Muchnuts or Falgast's pit stop here? Monkey Boy must have had a moment because he's dropped well off the back. One of the drivers is away. I think it's Falgast who's coming out the pits as Dan's coming around the corner. Dan is there now. Falgast not yet off the limiter. He's off the limiter now. Dan comes into turn 1. He'll want a good run through turn 1. But he's got it done. And I think he's got it done by a good gap here. Falgast as well has jumped the Muchnuts by some considerable margin, that even Sutty I think is having a look at the Muchnuts in the background. Sutty apex there. We'll see the Muchnuts just in front of him now. Yes, Sutty's still got to pit, but that's positive if you're him. Corey Smith in the chat just joined you lads. Hopefully get racing with you lads next week if there's space. Corey, 2 spaces available. Get messages Simplay Motorsport. Get on the Discord of Simplay Motorsport as well. We'll be able to get you signed up and in into that one as well. So that would be good to see you on the grid and good to see another driver out there. Corey, we'll look forward to seeing you out on track as next week's Jamie Brazier, I do believe, is your home race, the Snetterton race.
Yeah, it is. I haven't had much luck at Snetterton though.
No, the 200, not the 300. But either way, it's still going to be an interesting one to see. So nice to see Corey here, and it'll be nice to see Corey out on track next week. Now, the Muchnuts 6 seconds behind Dan, so the undercuts has really worked. DJ Phil has got in front of Little Leach here, so these two are having a great little battle here. They're pulling away from Don't Know Mate as well. Oh, Little Leach, a bit of a tap in the rear of Phil, and they don't want to take each other off here because... Oh, Phil, very
got
wiggly.
slapped on.
Whoa, thought he was about to slide into the side of Little Each there, but they've kept it together. And Craig now tucks back in behind. 20 viewers, 17 likes. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new as well. It'll be good to see some new drivers out on track next week. It's going to be fascinating to see these as well.
They'll literally trying the outside route will become the inside of DJ Phil there.
Yeah, he's having a look, and now goes back to the inside at Maggots Beckett's. Can't get the move done. Yeah, great undercut, Dan says Disco in the chat. It was a fantastic undercut. He's gapped Falgues by 2 seconds now, Jamie. That's when you know the undercut's worked for yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say he's been in clean air whilst Falgues and the Nuts have been battling each other, and he's just put a lot of gap between himself and the other two.
Now, Grandad Steve's made us eat our words a little bit there. Last time around, quickest man on the track.
No, Fury was the quickest man on the track.
Fury was the quickest man, sorry, apologies. No, yeah, you're right, but he was quicker than the leaders, was Grandad Steve, so he clearly has got the pace to be up there in this one. Little Each and just losing some ground to DJ Phil now. Is that the damage of Little Each's Renault Clio that's costing him the time here? Because he is struggling then.
Yeah, so it also depends on really what setup he'll be using.
Yeah.
Because say he could, and depending on what downforce he's got, because if he's put too much downforce on, then that ain't going to work at all.
Not quite sure if these cars use downforce, do they?
I'm not sure. I've never seen.
Huh? Not sure. Not looked at the setups enough. Not looked at the setups enough to notice. But one man who's on a charge at the minute, Jamie, is Fury. He's gaining on Keegs here, and we know what happened last week.
Yeah, Fury wants a rematch. Yeah, he's pulled away massively from Grandad Seat as Monkey Boy just got within a second of. So he just touched the chicane a little.
Yeah, he's got 2.1 to Sooty Apex, and these two still got to pit, Monkey Boy and Sooty Apex. The only two not yet to pit, and they've got to pit then before lap 23. And we're on lap 18 of 27, so 9 laps to go here.
Little Each hasn't lost DJ Phil at all as DJ Phil comes back in.
Yeah, DJ Phil's having a strong night in terms of racing against Little Each then. The Pro-Am driver versus the Pro driver in terms of GT3s. Dean Wasaki in the chat, cracking racing, enjoying it. Shame, Dean, you couldn't get out there with him, because I'm sure you'd have loved to have a go around here. Dean, of course, won his first ever sim race around this track in the rookies on a previous league. So Dean quite enjoys this track. It's a shame we couldn't get a race winner out there for this one. As Little Each here is really struggling to get past Phil, isn't he, at the minute? And this just allowing Don't Know Mate in the background just to slowly creep up on the back of them. That time's been coming down. It's now down to 10 seconds. So, yeah. Looking further forwards. Monkey Boy and Sooty close together. Fury now 2 seconds off the back of Keeg. So Fury flying at the moment, Jamie.
Yeah, Fury's constantly been in the 139s, but look at an Orthodox this time, a 139.1.
Yeah, clear, easy track to start to go on. They've had to.
Falgues is just in a 139.1.
He has 4 tenths quicker last lap, and they've had to lap Don't Know Mate during all of that one as well. So that's interesting to see that kind of pace from them to a 39.5 and a 39.1. Now, where is Fury? He's here. The gap to Keegs is a second. Do you remember their battle last week, including Ben Phelan? Well, it's Ben Keegs and Fury again. Not as close as they'd have liked to have been compared to last week, but it's these three together again at the moment. And what are these boys going to do then as they come into the final chicane? Fury fly. Oh, look at that. Gets that clear wall kind of sideways. You see the tyre smoke there from Fury as well. But he's hung on to it, Dean. Maybe next week. Well, set into 100. That'll be interesting to see Dean out there as well. Good to have him on the grid and improving on his race appearances. Dean Wasaki, I do believe, is our fourth on the race starts list. 71 compared to Welsh and Unorthodox is 68. But Dan will go to 69 tonight. DJ Phil, the most experienced driver at Simplay, 79 race starts to his name. And Fury really on the back of Keegs now. A 39.3 from Fury on the last lap. Second quickest man on the track. He is flying even into Bethany and Duffin. lap are we on? 18, 19 of 27. Little Leach and DJ Phil still going at it.
DJ
Oh,
Phil
DJ
getting a
Phil
little slow.
drifting. Tokyo drift through the chicane he goes. And sets his best lap while he does that as well. That is great driving. And Little Leach really enjoying this, I reckon, this battle with Phil. They've just managed to gap Don't Know Mate again as Phil round the outside. Little Leach just... That Clio of Little Leach just seems too stable. And you don't want an overly stable Clio.
Yeah. What's happened to the Max Nuts? Because he dropped well off the back.
He has dropped well off the back, hasn't he? He's dropped miles from the back of Falgast. He's lost a good 4 or 5 seconds since the pit stops, I'd say. Falgast, though, putting in some good laps here because he's catching Dan. Now, we're on to lap 20. Monkey Boy and Sutty have got to pit within the next 3 laps. Otherwise, they will face a penalty then. Obviously, the stewards, myself, Jamie, and Kieran Argent for this one. I'll decide the penalty. Little Leach says yo on the chat. Craig, who's driving? You don't text and drive, Craig. Don't want to be doing that one. 19 viewers, 18 people watching. Who do I support in this one? Says Beth in the chat. Fury has done Keegs. Now, will Keegs come back at him? Fury been lapping very impressively as of late. Has he got time to catch Ben? 8 seconds. Well, I tell you what, these two start to work together. Maybe they could.
Yeah. But I don't know after last week whether they will or not, or they'll just start battling.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. These should get past Sutty and Monkey Boy. They are, I say that actually, they're 20 seconds to Sutty and Monkey Boy. As Little Leach has got back ahead of DJ Phil then. Now just started to go. Yeah, DJ Phil's just got back ahead of Little Leach, as well as they've got the leaders coming up to lap them. Falgast chipping away at Dan's lap time, Dan's gap here, Jamie.
Yeah, see, although they were very similar on lap time there, but the gap's down to about 1.5 seconds now.
Going to be an interesting battle to the end. Lap 21 is started by Unorthodox, Falgast, the Mutsnuts I think as well. Sutty and Monkey Boy look like they've started it as well, so they've got to get themselves in the pit sometime soon.
Yeah, they don't want to face the wrath of the stewards. Yeah, Fury. He's so good through there.
Yeah, he has gone at the minute, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's pulled a massive gap from Keith. Falgast is 1.1 from Unorthodox.
Yeah, so Falgast is now starting to reel Dan in. Has Dan made a mistake through a certain part of the track? These two are catching onto the back of the Little Leach DJ Phil battle as well, so it's going to be lapping battle here.
I was going to say it's Falgast in Unorthodox's car. In the number 16
He is
car.
in the number 16, yeah. Unorthodox saying Falgast has a lot of weight on his shoulders, flying the flag for this car.
Yeah, he's flying, Falgast is right now.
Oh, he's on the back of Dan now. Has Dan not got the run through the corner? Because Falgast has got right onto the back of Dan here, and I think Dan just rubs the number 16 car. Dan has not got a good run through a corner somewhere, and that has put Falgast up into the lead of this race. Little Leach saying to Beth that she should support him. And Falgast leads this race, Jamie.
Yeah, I think Sutty and Monkey Boy are having a bit of a battle as well. Just cut back to them.
Yeah,
they need to be in next time round.
Yeah, they need to pit by the end of lap 23. So they've got to pit end of this or the end of the next, otherwise they will face a penalty. But yeah, interesting to see so far. Little Leach still ahead of DJ Phil. And Phil not having the best laps last time, allowing Little Leach to get away a little bit there.
Yeah, Unorthodox is trying to come back at Falgast.
Now, what does Unorthodox do? Come on, Foul, my man, says Corey in the chat. Well, he's leading the race at the minute. And into Stowe they come.
Unorthodox is all over the back of him, trying to get inside the car with him.
He is indeed, and a bit of a... Was that a flash of lights, or was that just Dan's lights sort of popping out behind the car and tucking back in again?
I think that was Dan's lights popping out.
Either way,
behind you, say
he's glued to the back. Look at Falgast's last lap. A 38.9. That is quick pace from Falgas there. He is flying.
Yeah, he just needs to find somewhere where he can just pull a bit of a gap from the north to just break the slipstream. But it's just like
Falgas now starting to flash the lights, look, because the leaders are starting to lap DJ Phil, and he wants Phil to move quickly. 39.1 Falgas, 39.2 Unorthodox. So them two are flying. Fury then has got within 5 seconds of Ben. DJ Phil to the grass, and I thought he was going to have a bit of a moment there, but he's managed to hold it together. Of Falgas come through. Dan on the grass as well. So Dan maybe just starting to make a few mistakes at the end of this race, Jamie.
Yeah, so he's round 4/10 behind, but he's. So you can see Unorthodox is just trying so hard to start. He's in and Monkey Boy is in.
Yeah, Sooty and Monkey Boy into the pits. So this should release Ben, Fury and Keegs into 4th, 5th and 6th. Yet again for them three in that similar order. As Ben has got past, Fury will get past the pair of them. Is Keegs going to do them? He is going to have a look in towards Stoke. Keegs gets through as well. Can Grandad Steve get Sooty and Monkey Boy? I think he can, you know. And Dan up the inside of Falgas gets that one done. Falgas then will happily stay behind Dan. Dan gets a bit drifty, and Little Each, oh, a bit of a wiggle coming through Stoke. DJ Phil very wide as well. Falgas having a run up Dan, and they lean on each other a little bit there. Falgas and Dan just ever so slightly. Grandad Steve gets out of Sooty and Monkey Boy. 8th and 9th, the Monkey Boy is Sooty now, and Dan very wide as Falgas just touches him a little bit. Maybe there to go wide. Great little battle for the lead this as we're coming to the end of this race.
Unorthodox just drifts a little wide.
Falgas got the run then towards Unorthodox as they come to the chicane. And can Falgas got the job done? Dan then later on the brakes gets a bit slidey. Falgas a bit more stable through the corner, but Dan gets a great run. Look at Falgas getting compromised, and that's allowed Little Each to get a run. Who has to take to the grass, and Craig will not want to get involved with this battle for the lead. He'll back out of this, I reckon. Or is he? No, yeah, just tucks him behind Falgas again. But with a few laps to go, the battle starting to heat up. Ben is only 8 seconds ahead of Keegs, who's 4 seconds behind him. Fury flying here to try and catch Ben Phelan in P4. Back down the order a little bit. DJ Phil wide once more, and this could really allow don't know, mate, to start to catch, but I think it's too late for him. Mega Racing, says Corey, and indeed it is. Falgas then within a couple of tenths of Unorthodox. Can he get ahead of Unorthodox? Slipstream down the hanger straight, Jamie Brazier. Great battle from these leaders.
Yeah, it's an amazing battle. Two races and two amazing battles in the Clios.
Yeah, it is. Great. Two great drivers here. And if it's not Dan, it's Dan's livery at the front of the pack as the number 16 Green Machine coming to look to tuck underneath Dan. Dan a little wider than Falgas. The momentum will be lost, the traction lost as he was on the grass. And look at Falgas. He's sticking a nose up the inside and towards the right-hander. And it's a great job by Falgas here. Up he goes, and Dan tries to take a wider line and get a cut back underneath. Can he do it? Falgas on the grass a little bit there with two wheels. I think Dan's back in front. Yes, he is. Little left-hander coming up. Easy for Falgas to get back up the inside. And he has done just that, but Dan a wiggle there, and is Falgas going to try and tuck back underneath? Little Each here in the background doesn't know whether to go with him or to stay behind. Little Each drop off. They rub on each other again into the chicane, and Falgas and Dan somehow keep it without spinning off, and this is great Clio driving.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is amazing Clio driving. Look, these two drivers giving each other so much respect. Just pushing each other to the limits though, but not pushing each other off the track or just ramming each other. Dan's earning this one. Great from both, says Disco. Me Disco Face. Epic, says Peaceful Stepdad. And Fury now is within 2 seconds of Ben Phelan. So Fury is charging in this one. The Mutt's Nuts. A good third place, but 12 seconds so far. Lap 25 of 27. We're nearly done with this one. And it's still Falgas who's trying to hunt down Unorthodox. Seems to get an advantage through this part of the circuit where he gets the slipstream. But Dan's strong at the end part. And we've seen Dan really strong at the chicane, Jamie, all night. That's where Dan has capitalised. And Falgas needs to think of a way to get in front of Dan before the chicane. Yeah, Falgas really needs to get through through here.
Oh,
He's
Dan's
hitting on
wider.
Ricky.
Dan's wider. Falgast had a wiggle, though. Sorry to cut you off, Jamie. Dan was wider. Falgast had a wiggle. That has lost both momentum down the straight towards the right-hander. Falgast again, a bit of a wiggle mid-corner, and Izzy just started to push the car a little more, but that's maybe allowed Dan to have an opportunity then. Falgast can be in the slipstream here. Unlike side-by-side of previous laps, he can have a run at Dan into the chicane. Look at the momentum through the corner.
Yeah, this is where he needs to be on the inside of an orthodox, but orthodox won't make it that easy for him.
No, he's not going to make it easy. Falgast breaks a little earlier. Dan just drifts out a little wide, and you see there, Dan pulls that little bit away every time in the chicane. He gets the chicane spot on. Fury's granddad, what a race, whoa, he says in the chat. And now Falgast have a look. Dan goes defensive. Falgast cuts back to the other side. He's on the outside. Will he look at a cutback? He tried to get the cutback, but couldn't get it done because Dan's car was just there by a slither. And Falgast is still having to stare at the back of an Orthodox's car. And what a drive this is from these two. It is a cracking race. Little Each is going with them and is matching their pace.
Little Each has got the popcorn out.
He has got the popcorn out. Sat there driving one-handed at the minute. Fury then has lost out to Ben a little bit. He's dropped back by a couple of seconds. Keegs is being caught by Grandad Stee here. Sooty and Monkey Boy as well having a great little fight as well. Peaceful kind of in no man's land in P10. And at the minute Falgast then comes down the straight and is looking for a manoeuvre. He pulls out now, but again he's going to be on the outside line. And Dan, can he get this one to work? Will he make this one stick? He's got 1.5 laps to do it to win this race. Falgast can't get it done there, and you don't want to be on the outside for being pushed wide. And they give each other the respect and they keep it nice and clean. This is a mega drive for the lead. This has been 4 laps of fantastic Clio driving, and Falgast around the outside. Looks like he's going to have the job done on Dan, but he's so wide there. Does he keep it? He does, but he's losing that momentum to Dan. He needs to tuck back in really and get back in the slipstream. Car placement from Dan is impeccable, says Disco in the chat, as Little Each just being caught up as Falgast drifts a little wide. We're going to have 1 lap to go, and it's going to be Falgast versus Unorthodox for this race win. And Jamie, I would not like to call it either way here.
No, I wouldn't like to call it at all. This is going to be a brilliant last lap.
Brilliant last lap to see. Do not go anywhere. Like and subscribe. We'll be back Wednesday and Thursday for the Pro-Am and the Pro. Friday for the start of the IndyCars. And we'll be back next Monday for round 3, Snetterton 200 of these Clios, where Falgast and Dan are treating us to an absolute gem of a race here. This is absolutely fantastic then. Falgast really looking now to get on to the back of Dan as they come towards what is Maggots and Beckett's. Little Each, I think, knows that this is the last lap and has decided, you know what, just going to stay out of this. And look at Falgast right on the rear end of Dan now. He's really gaining closer to him as they come to the hangar straight. Dan's car placement, like Disco said, has been impeccable, Jamie. He's just got a few corners to do it again.
Fury's got Ben as well.
Fury, oh, he has got Ben. So Fury then up into P4. He's been driving like a man on a mission. Falgast pulls to the outside now, Jamie. Cut back maybe.
He's looking for it.
He is looking for it. He's looking for it. He's got it. I think he's got a run on Dan. Dan seemed to drift a little wide. And here comes Falgast then. Dan can't come across because I think he knows Falgast is just up enough the inside. Dan then will have to go wider through this part of the corner. And that's not where he's been for the last couple of laps. It's been Falgast on the inside. It's now Dan. Dan took straight back into the to the slipstream. Who needs touring cars when you've got this, says Peaceful Stepdad. Dan now right on the back of Falgast, pushing him, pulls out for the chicane. He knows this is his opportunity. He knows this is where he's stronger, and it's Dan and Falgast. They're well in front of the Mutsnuts, 23 seconds. Falgast just needs to get this right, and I think it could be Falgast who's going to take the win, and that is going to be it. Falgast on the last lap takes it at the line. What a job from him. What a great drive from Dan.
That was brilliant.
Oh, I need to catch my breath because that...
Brandon Steve's got Keats as well.
Oh wow, Grandad C has got Keeks. So what a last lap that's been. Let's see the Mutsnuts across the line. Oh, Jamie, I think I need to catch my breath after that one. That was mega.
I need a lie down now.
So the Mutsnuts will come home to finish P4. This man, Fury, what a job from him. He has had a cracking little race here. As Don't Know Mate in front will come home for P13. DJ Phil P12. P11 for Little Eats, and Fury will come back to get 4th. Great drive from him. Ben Phelan P5. Grandad C in the end will come across for a P6. Keeks just couldn't hang on in the end, who will come home for a 7th place. It's then going to be Sooty Apex on his first outing. We hope to see a bit more of Sutty maybe as this season goes on. Who's going to come across for a P8? That's another race start under Sutty's bag. Monkey Boy then will take a 9th as well. Peaceful Explosion is going to come across for a P10. And that is your race there, ladies and gentlemen. Then who then takes the the fastest lap of the race? 38.5 from Dan. Yeah, I think Dan gets it. Dan then will get the fastest lap and we'll get that extra point. Jamie, get the top 3 in for a quick chat. What an absolute drive that was. Let me just work out the championship standings for you now. Oh, what a drive! What a race! What a fantastic bit of driving from Falgast and Dan there. Fantastic to see. As we tick 26 more points off the board, there's 104 points left up for grabs, and it's Unorthodox who still leads that way by 7 points. That third place Falgast got, how much will that bite him at the moment? So Dan has taken 27 in the first one, 21 in race 2. Falgast has taken 15 and 25. But what a job that was. Falgast is just coming. We're just going to wait for the Mutts, Nuts and Dan as well. We'll start with them two first. Just looking at the chat. The Wall, hey Peaceful Stepdad, well done Falgast Disco, brilliant Dan and Falgast his little each. Whoa, that was crazy, says Falgast. Whoa, well done Falgast, great racing mate, seriously unlucky Dan, great drive though, congrats. Great race at Dan Davis, fantastic, well done Falgast, honourable mention for Fury, what a finish, says The Wall. Good clean fair racing from Falgast, awesome buddy, epic, loved it, that was wicked. We've only got Falgast in the chat at the minute, Jamie, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So while he's here, we'll start with him. Falgast, that was an epic drive, an epic race win as well.
Thank you very much. It was very hot, to say the least.
I can imagine. I bet you didn't think the room was on the cards after your pit stop came around.
No, I know Dan's quick around here from racing against him previously, so I knew I had to really push. Out of the pit, having that 2.5 second, 3 second gap, I just needed to get my head down, stay consistent, and it paid off in the end.
Yeah, it paid off, and what a time to do it as well. You was looking, and you sort of ran a little too far wide on the penultimate lap, and it looked like that one was done. But the last lap, you really got a hold of the rear end of Dan's car and got past him.
Yeah, I was just trying to throw everything at it, going every which way possible, and it just. He's very good driver, Dan, and we have a lot of respect between each other, and that's how you can race so close and fair with each other.
Yeah, well, great race, mate. Well done to yourself as well. That was fantastic to see. We look forward to seeing you back next week, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
We got the Mutts Nuts in as well, and we'll just go to the Mutts Nuts now. P3, mate, led for quite a while off the start, but on the podium. Yeah, podium as well for yourself, so not a bad way. Good handful of points for yourself to kickstart your season, really, with a couple of rounds left. Yeah, what Sexton next week? Do you like the track? Well, we look forward to seeing you next week, buddy. Best luck. Cheers, buddy. And we've got an Orthodubs in now. Dan, fastest lap and a second place, but that was hard work.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was absolutely epic. Well done, Falgast. Fair play, mate. You got me. I knew you were going to get me in the final chicane. It was just knowing how to react to you, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. Fastest lap and second, I'll take that, considering I started near the back. So. But that was epic. I wanted a couple more laps of that. That was awesome.
I was saying to Jamie early on after your pit stops and after Falgast's pit stop that you're slowly catching Jamie on the race wins, and he chipped away at that time and made sure you didn't get that race win.
Yeah, I don't know if Falgast repaired his engine damage, but I didn't. So I was carrying quite a lot of engine damage. I think I had about 4 or 5 towards the end. So right. I could feel the car getting a bit sluggish towards the end. And I just knew I had to defend every inside, and he just got the run on me at the further end of the circuit. But yeah, I wanted to pit early because I felt I I wanted to have a bit of fun with some other drivers, but obviously pulled out into a gap where there was no one around. And I got to take my hat off to Little Leach. He sat there the whole time, and he kind of was there, but he never got involved. But fair play to him. I think he thoroughly enjoyed watching that.
Actually, that's something I wanted to ask the both of you while you're both here. Little Leach there was kind of, with that slipstream, was able to run at the same pace as you guys, but did so well not to get involved, not to just stick a nose in somewhere. He did well to not get involved.
Oh yeah, like I said, top my hat off to him. He did a great job of just sitting there and watching. He caught up quite quick at one point, but then it was like he backed off straight away and let us fight. So fair play to Little Leach. He said in the comments, I was in the same chat as him, and he was saying, "All I want to do is race Dan. All I want to do is race him." So he kind of did.
Well, hats off to the both of you. We look forward to seeing you back at Snetterton next week in these Clios for hopefully some more action. Jamie, any final thoughts from yourself?
Yeah, so once again, a brilliant night, brilliant night's racing. Massive congratulations to Falgues. That was a very well worked victory, and well done to our North Dubs and the Mutsnuts as well on their podiums. And yeah, on to my home round next.
Yeah, on to Snetterton 200 next week. Falguest's first win here at Simplay Motorsport as well, so not a bad way to do it by taking it against the likes of the Pro Champion, the GT and the GT5 Champion. But yep, we are back Wednesday and Thursday night for your Pro-Am and Pro Series in the GT3s. Can Argent continue what was a crazy start in the Pro-Am with about 7 or 8 different leaders in the 2 races? Can Dan continue his fine form into his early defence of his title? Jamie's back, so that one's not going to be as easy. We're back Friday night as well for the start of the IndyCar season around Texas Motor Speedway, Texas Road Course, should I say. So tune in for that one. But we are back next Monday for the Clio Cup. That's all we've got time for here at Simplay Motorsport. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for liking, subscribing and commenting as well. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. Watch me elevate. Yeah. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watch me